All right, everybody, welcome back to our ranking Coldplay series. This week we are going through songs 30 through 21. Let's just jump right into it. This was a ridiculously tough list. I think the top 40 have been just the hardest. I am, it was so difficult that this episode's a little bit late getting out. I'm actually recording it, on Sunday afternoon. I'm going to be releasing it in just a few minutes here. Um, Very hard. Let's just jump right in though. To number 30, where we have Strawberry Swing from Viva La Vida or Death and All His Friends. I really do love this song. Wanted to have a bunch of these songs higher. It just is what it is when you have so many good songs. But I love the electric guitar riff that kind of it's very rhythmic, and so it feels like you don't really need a secondary guitar. You do have two guitars, two electric guitars, and an acoustic. Um, but that lead line, it feels this is one of Johnny's best attributes as a guitar player. So he can take a lead line and make it come across as so rhythmic that it feels like sort of arpeggiated, but it's not. It's not like it might be in some might be some version of arpeggio, but it's so non-traditional. If it is arpeggio, then it's so non-traditional. If it is arpeggio, that you don't think it is, but you feel it. You feel the rhythm of it, and it gives you the rhythm of the song, and alongside the drums. But even when the drums fade out, and the tone on the guitar here is just so good. Just having that driving beat of the bass and the drums with the lead line of the guitar, and Chris is just chill. His voice is so good on this song. It's not anything super impressive. It just fits the song really well. Um, it's just a really like nice, very pleasant song in the middle of this album, and fits the album very, very well. Um, and it's like tight. It's like just over 4 minutes. Um, Really love though the bridge, whereas the lyrics there, now the sky could be blue. I don't mind without you. It's a waste of time. Could be blue. I don't mind without you. It's a waste of time. Well, the sky could be blue, could be gray. Without you, I'm just miles away. And just the whole like ending of the song about like good days, bad days, it doesn't really matter. If I have you, then I'm fine. Um, and you get more driving acoustic chords in there, and it's just a really good song. It's solid. It's nothing exceptional in terms of like, oh my goodness, this is an incredible song, but it's very easy to love it. Uh, and I do. So let's go ahead and get to number 30. And this is one, Every Teardrop is a Waterfall from Milo Zoloto, that I think actually has grown on me a little bit. You could easily be like, oh, it's like a good, like not quite as good version of Paradise off the same album. It shares a lot of DNA with Paradise and with Charlie Brown, again off the same album. So I could see someone being critical of this song and putting it a little bit lower because I think it's clearly the worst of the three. But I sincerely do love it. The lyrics, in the beginning are a little bit cheesy, but you just get into the music and the lyrics get better later in the song. um, just like the first line of like I turned the music up, I got my records on, like it's like okay, this is kind of cheesy, but the music is so good. You get like the driving electric chords with the acoustic, really bringing in a lot of rhythm. And then after the first verse, you get the lead line on the electric, and then verse two comes in with the kick drum, just like beating that like rhythm. It's really, really, really great. And like making this connection of like the music you're listening to being more than just like little fun things. The line from underneath the rubble, sing a rebel song. Don't want to see another generation drop. I'd rather be a comma than a full stop. And that's, the English teacher in me can't help but notice that. The idea of the lyric there, I'd rather be a comma than a full stop, is a full stop in that use. It was like a period or an ending punctuation mark. So it's like saying I'd rather have to pause and stop for a second than like actually fully stop. And like lines like that that are really great are just part of what makes Coldplay great. The line, but my heart is beating and my pulses start cathedrals in my heart is like you can make fun of it, I guess, but I think it's a really great line. Um, and uh, I swear you emerge blinking into to tell me. So I need to give you the backup for that. So like this light, I swear you emerge blinking into to tell me it's all right, is a really poetic way of like wording it. It sounds like a poem, because it's like kind of you're putting like a little phrase with that I swear you in the middle of it, because like the idea of that line is there's this light that you emerge out of, but he uses the word into instead. You emerge into this blinking light, which is a poetic use, like a poetic line, and you come out of this light to tell me that things will be okay. Every siren is a symphony, every tear is a waterfall. Um, just really, really good stuff. And then you get that breakdown of the chorus of the bridge, I guess. I think you might call it a bridge. Um, After that, where you get the lead line, um, ending that chorus, and it like comes to it slows down where he says, "So you can hurt me bad, but still I'll raise the flag," and everything drops except for like the acoustic and the electric rhythm. And then the harmonies for but still I'll raise the flag is really, really great. And then right after he finishes, like right as he says raise and he goes the flag on like the lead line comes back in with the like strong electric rhythm. It's very, very good. I really love that part of the song. And then having the ending last like minute of just really cranking electric rhythm with the drum fill, whereas like I don't know exactly what he's doing, but he's doing this similar pattern like every time, where it's like a couple toms and like it's just like really busy, but in a tight rhythm, a tight like pattern, I should say. So it doesn't feel like it's just chaos. It feels like it's very intentional, which obviously it is. But it really brings a lot of energy to that ending. While in the background, the harmony is singing "Every Teardrop is a Waterfall," and Chris is just like vocalizing O's over top of it. It's a really fun song. A lot of energy, a lot of really great electric guitar parts, different parts. There's at least two in this song. Um, and the ending with just the drums and everything else cuts out. Um, is really, really great. So that's my number 29. Let's get into 28. And this one is a new one, a new hit. Feels like I'm falling in love from Moon Music. And I wanted to have this higher just because Ezra loves it so much, which he's not like I wouldn't say he doesn't like it anymore, but he's cooled on it a little bit. He asks for other songs more often than he asked for this one now. For a while, it was like just this song, but he still loves it, obviously, and I still love it. It's a little cheesy, which is why I would have it a little bit lower than, for now at least. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get it higher eventually. I do sincerely love it. The guitar tone on it is gorgeous. And the like apprehension in the lyrics I really like. And I can see people be like, "Oh, it's really cheesy, whatever, whatever." But like the a lot of Coldplay's love songs, some of them are more unique than others. And this one might not seem very unique, but the way he kind of tells the story, I think is a little bit more unique than it first presents itself to be. So like the lyrics there at the very beginning, I know this could hurt me bad. I know this could feel like that, but I just can't stop. I let my defense, we didn't say I, but let my defenses drop is basically implying I let my defenses drop. Um, and then I know that I was born to kill any angel on my windowsill. So it's like, I know that I could get hurt by, taking a chance on love, but I also could hurt somebody else. Um, but then he goes, but it's so dark inside. I throw the windows wide. He's like, but I'm lonely and I need something else, so I give it a shot. I'm trying, even though I could hurt, I could get hurt, or I could hurt somebody else, and anyways, I go ahead and give it a shot. Um, and that's it's not like incredible lyrics, but I think it's good lyrics. And the chorus is really fun. The electric guitar tone, like everybody said, is really great. The pam pam after the feels like is really great. The reverb, just like it's like what's great about it is sometimes reverb can be messy and sloppy, and it can like kind of like can get too chaotic. And for this song, you can hear every note he's hitting on the guitar and it just like reverberates out, but you can still hear him when he comes back in. It's not getting washed out and getting lost in all of the delay and reverb effects. Um, and the that's really great, but also, um, the and like the second verse also kind of has some of that same like I could hurt you, you could hurt me type stuff. I know that in this kind of scene of two people, there's a spark between one gets torn apart, one gets a broken heart. Um, Still I don't let go, and fields of flowers grow. And so it's like this hopeful side of like I know that this doesn't usually end up working out for most people, but it's still worth it. And I think that's a more unique way of looking at love from Coldplay's discography. Um, and like a solo for the ending of the song where it's really simple. It's just like a little like power chord type sound where he's like hammering onto it. Um, I'm listening to it right now as I'm talking, so I'm trying to like describe it, but it's hard not to get into it. It's really, really good. And then just like the wash at the end of like the chord hits and just like letting it like reverberate out is so great. Um, so that's 28. Really love the song. To me, it's like just I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I already ranked higher power. Yeah, I did already rank higher power. It's just like a notch above higher power to me. But they're both very, very, very good and very similar um, level of caliber from Coldplay. So then there's 27 and it's Everglow, and I know some people were like, no, they have this song really high. At least they did before in the past. And there's a specific song that's coming up a little bit later that has kept kind of gate kept this song for me because I like that one better. And there's other like sad love type love songs that I think are just a little bit better. But I think that when I first ranked all the Coldplay songs, was 2 albums ago. I want to say that I had Everglow in a similar position, but again, that's like it was like 25 or something songs that were less to rank, and so it being in a similar position shows that I actually like it more now than I used to, and that played out. I think there was several songs that I was like, oh, I'm surprised I'm still keeping Everglow, and I'm ranking these other songs and putting them on the list, and I haven't put Everglow on yet. And even now, I'm kind of like I could see myself putting it a couple spots higher in the future. I do think it's really, really good. It's just kind of simple. Maybe is the wrong word, but like I just think there's other songs that have done this piano-driven love ballad from them better. Um, Before this one and after this one, whether you want to look at like sad love songs, like breakup songs, or you want to look at just any kind of love songs in general. And I don't want to name songs because I have some coming up on this episode, but also in the future episodes. And I just think like for whatever reason, it didn't when it first came out. I didn't love it. I didn't think it was bad by any means. I still probably had it top 3 or 4 on the album. I'm trying to look at the album right now. I probably would have had it like fourth or fifth, maybe even sixth on the album, which it was wrong. I now have it third on the album, and I can see an argument for it being first or second. It's just for me, I just didn't have it that high. You can see what other songs I've already ranked, but and I think that like I don't see it going down from. I don't see it I don't see it falling for me on in terms of the album ranking within the album A Head Full of Dreams. Uh, and the piano is really really beautiful. Um, but it doesn't have a whole lot else going on. And there's a couple of like cheesier lyrics. The verse about like they're about a wedding to me comes across as kind of cheesy. When we swore on that night we'd be friends till we die. That's not what you swear at a wedding. I don't know. Like I get it. Maybe it's just trying to be a little more poetic, but sometimes it hits, it works for you, and sometimes it just doesn't. And for me, it just doesn't. That verse, um, But like the first verse I think is really great, and the first like the introduction of the song and the first chorus. Um I just think it's like for me some reason it feels a little long, which is kind of weird, but that's just how I feel about it. Like I wish it was like 30 seconds or maybe even a minute shorter. I don't think you need that third verse about the wedding. Because you it's three verses and I think it's only two choruses. Maybe it's three choruses, maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to look through the lyrics while I'm listening to it, but it is still a great song, and I wouldn't fault people for having it higher. And I wouldn't be surprised if I end up keeping it in a similar level or even going higher. The solo I do really like at the end, the last like minute. There's a solo there before the um like closing of the song that I think is really good. I just wish it came a little sooner. I just think that I really the more that I think about it, the more I think that third verse just kind of kills the momentum of the song for me. Um, like if you had done a back-to-back chorus instead of a verse there and then do the solo, that would have probably dropped the song length by 45 seconds or more, and it just would have kept it a little bit more tight, would have kept you wanting more instead of being like, oh, it's still going, okay, and you kind of getting checked out. Um, but yeah, it's still a very great song. It's very nitpicky of me to point that stuff out. That's just my opinion. If you love the song, I don't fault you at all. Um, so let's go on to 26. For 26, we have God Put a Smile Upon Your Face from A Rush of Blood to the Head. This is one that I like was blown away. Not that it's like incredible, but just like I thought I would rank this one. So like Rush Blood to the Head, the album has 11 songs. And I think when I first went through, which quickly I went through all the albums and just kind of roughly ranked the songs. I didn't do like super thorough, like 'cause I've changed a lot of them in this process. Um, I've changed some today before I recorded this episode. And for God Put a Smile Upon Your Face, I think I had it a couple spots lower. And I kept listening to it when I was getting to ranking in like the 40s and the 30s, and I was like, no, it's definitely better than that. Like even I think even in the 50s, I was looking at maybe putting it somewhere in the 50s. And I was like, no, I think I like this better than Rush Blood to the Head, the song. And I think I like this better than Amsterdam. So I just kept bumping it higher and higher and higher. And it finally fell here at 26. The opening is so good. And then when you get like with just Chris, sorry, I was gonna jump ahead. I need to slow down. So just the part at the beginning with just Chris and the electric, or it might even be acoustic. I can't even really tell. I think it's acoustic. Um, and it's just that whole first like verse, I guess. Yeah, I guess it would be a verse. It's hard to say with this song because it does have the title of the song in that part. But then that ends, you get the drums just like driving really hard. 'Cause it kind of catches you off guard because the acoustic part is not super like it's not very driving. And then you get the lead line coming in there as with the drums, and then it like kind of fades away for a second when the second verse starts, but then the electric slowly builds back in uh towards the end of the second verse, I think. Um it is well, it might even be no, that's the third verse does that. So the second verse is pretty much the same as the first, except for it has the drums still in it. And then you get that first chorus. Um, and Chris's voice here is just like it's really good. It's almost effortless while going up to the higher notes for the start of the chorus. Uh, and it's kind of a moody, like um, unique song, I think, amongst a lot of their discography. Um, But then you have like a solo to end the chorus, and the third verse is where that does the electric does kind of come back in slowly building. Um, it's like maybe about halfway through. Yeah, about halfway through that's the third line, I think. And then it just like gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The electric guitar does, bleeding right into the chorus, and it's really great. And then the repetition of that last line of the chorus, your guess is as good as mine, as the bridge where he's just going, it's as good as mine, it's as good as mine. And then you get like everything drops out. Like I've told you, I've said many times before that I love it when Coldplay ebbs and flows with the dynamics of a song. And they do that here where they just drop out for the bridge, and it's just Chris saying it's as good as mine, and it slowly builds back up to the highs that it's been at before, where you have, the drums just driving, the electric guitar driving, and Chris just like his voice just floating above everything else. Uh, it's in a harmony coming in. It's really, really good. Um, and the ending of the song is also really good. Like the bridge is probably my favorite part of the song, but the end, 'cause it drops out again, and it's just back to being the acoustic and Chris the same way it was in the very beginning. And it's just I love when they kind of come full circle like that. I think it's a really great dynamic and a great like version of a Coldplay song, 'cause they do it in other songs as well. And I really like how they do that and how they play with dynamics. Um, and they do it a lot, and they do it a lot in these first three albums, but they do it a lot in general. Um, and it's a really cool ending, weird ending chord. Just a really great song. But let's get to 25. 25 is Midnight, and this is one that I wanted to have higher. I had it higher last time. It didn't fall. It's just that there's so many more songs to rank that it ends up being a lower number because there's like 25 more songs or something like that. Because Everyday Life, has 16, Music of the Spheres has 9, so that's 25 already, and then Moon Music is 10, so yeah, 35 songs. So it's like the fact that it's still at 25 is pretty good. It's really good. It's the second highest song from Ghost Stories. And two and a half, when you have 10 albums, basically means it's a top two and a half song on an album, and it's at number two for Ghost Stories. Really great song. It's one of my favorites, if not my, it's probably my second. I'm trying to think of like non-traditional Coldplay songs that I have really high, and I think it's probably number two. I'm trying to skim through my list of the albums, and I would say this is probably number two, or maybe number three. Yeah, I think number three. Now that I'm looking at, I don't want to name song titles, but I think it's number three. For like, if you're thinking of like non-traditional Coldplay songs, like songs you're like, oh, Coldplay does a song that's like this style of music or whatever. And a lot of Everyday Life, a lot of that album is full of songs you're like, oh, that's a very unique style of song for Coldplay. But this is one of my very favorites of those kind of songs that class of song that you would say is very unique for Coldplay. And it fits Coldplay really well, actually, because Chris Martin's voice is just incredible. And it's so good in this song. Seriously, one of my favorite Chris songs, but just generally speaking, it is like, it's almost 5 minute song, and there's not a ton going on. It's just a lot of it is just vibe, and I love the vibe. I love the mood of the song, but it is, I listened to it a bunch because I was like, am I sure this is where I want to put it? Because I do sincerely love the song. I have in the past had it even higher um on Ghost Stories on the album. I had it as the number one song on the album at different times. And I think that I personally like have more like strong feelings towards this song than I do for the number one song on the album, Sky Full of Stars, obviously. I'm not gonna like try to pretend like that's a spoiler. Um it's not as good of a song. Midnight is not as Sky Full of Stars. But I personally just like really love Midnight and love that it exists and love I like songs that are like this. There are other songs by other bands I listen to that are more like this. Um, and it's beautiful. Like it is just incredible. I don't remember what the name of the instrument is, but I'm trying to think of what it's called now. I have it like on the tip of my tongue, but I don't want to butcher it. It's a like a synth harp is the non-specific term, but they used one on Severance, season two. Um, yeah, I'm trying to like look it up. Instrument. It's a theremin. Theremin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is also a theremin, but it's some kind of like a synth harp that I think Guy plays it, and there's a lot of other, obviously, a lot of other synth and keyboard sounds. But it's was a lot of the song you're like, I don't really know if I hear like, is there any guitar in it? Maybe, maybe not. Is there any drum? There's like a electric drum maybe that maybe like a drum pad that Will's playing. I don't know, um but I love it. It is absolutely beautiful. There's part of why part of why I felt comfortable ranking it here is there's another song that gives me similar vibes that I have higher, that I like more. But this is still an absolutely incredible song, and if anyone else loves it, I am right there with you. So let's go on to 24. 24 is I Am a Mountain, or IAAM is how they have it classified on the or titled on the album. And I love this song. I wanted to have it higher. I don't know what it is about it. So I can see people being like, "Oh, it's so cheesy," but just like I don't know, I love it. Like it's very, very Coldplay. The positive self message of like believing in yourself and of like being there for people, um and like in the structure of the song of it just like slowly building that first verse and then getting into the chorus where it like it goes into the acoustic and the piano like leading the melody there, and Chris like falsetto, strong falsetto though, not like super high and airy, like strong falsetto. It's it hits for me. It does the things that I want a Coldplay song to do. And then it keeps that momentum. The drums kind of fill in more on the second verse than they did on the first verse. I really like the lyrics. I'm really sorry for for some things I said along the way. I really love you. I just didn't like myself that day. Like kind of owning up to the fact that like sometimes we're not 100% ourselves. We're not our best version of ourselves. But that's okay. We can push through that, and it doesn't have to like be this terrible thing. It is what it is. Uh, and this the end of the second uh chorus going into the like I guess yeah, it's like a bridge, but it's like an instrumental bridge with a guitar solo. It's a really fun solo. It's nothing it's incredibly impressive, but the tone on it, I love the tone. It's like what I honestly like. I've probably said this before in this series, but the tone on this song, I think, is the kind of tone that I want to have when I'm playing at church most of the time because it is like electric and like a little bit gain without it feeling like it is like heavy, and it cuts through the mix really well. But it's still very light and bright, but not without it being too light, too bright. It's just and it does have some reverb in it and some delay. I don't know. I really do love this song. I don't have a lot to say about it, but I think it's just a really good, upbeat, positive song, and I've loved it since the album came out. And maybe this song falls for me a little bit with time. I had that happen with some songs from Music of the Spheres. Um, it just kind of happens sometimes. Over time, I get more used to the song, kind of settle in. And when it's fresh, I'm like, oh yeah. But for now, I have it at 24. 23 is the hardest part. And this song was difficult to place for me because I a part of not no pun intended, but a part of me loves this song, but a part of me is critical of the song only because there is a live version of this song from maybe it might be from more than one album, but when I first heard it was when I first saw Coldplay live for the Viva La Vida tour. They put out a live album called Left Right Left Right Left. They passed it out at the concert, and for a long time you couldn't get it anywhere. I think they may have had it on Apple Music for like a little while, like way back in back in '08 for or '08 or '09, and they took it down, and it's on Spotify now. But they have a live version of the hardest part that better matches the like the mood and the lyrics of the song. Is a lot more melancholy, and a little bit slower, and it is gorgeous, and it's like way better. And like the thing is though, this is a great song. So they're taking this song that I think is a top 20-ish, 20, 25 song for Coldplay. Even if you think you're a little bit lower on it, you would have it in the 30s. Like it's still a very, very good song. And the live version of it is like maybe a top 5 to top 10 song if I were to include that. It is very, very high for me. And so then it's like, well, how do I like separate that in my head and pretend like it doesn't exist? Like I know it exists. I know it's so great. And this is not that. But this song still is really great. And the lyrics are still the same. And I think there's some really great lyrics in there. Um, and the electric guitar does some cool stuff in this song. Um, it's like in the beginning, it's just kind of the drums, a little bit of piano. Um, but the chorus coming in with Chris high in the falsetto with the electric guitar kind of like arpeggioed, um, and following uh the chorus. Like Chris where the chorus is at in his vocal range is really strong. You get a little solo between the first chorus and the second verse. But the choruses of this song and the harmony with him and Will, I love to sing Will's part. Not that I'm a good singer, but it's fun to sing it. Um, and that's a part of why I like this song. Like the lyrics are really good, the electric guitar is really good. And Will's harmony is really great, and Chris's voice is always great, but specifically the choruses, his his where the key of the song hits so he can go to this like really great falsetto for the choruses of this song. Um, and then you get the bridge that with the I wonder what it's all about and setting up the bridge there with that uh with like an instrumental section before the bridge and you have a little bit of a solo. I love the lyrics of the bridge. Everything I know is wrong. Everything I do, it just comes undone and everything is torn apart. Oh, and that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part. Uh, and it's like this incredibly bittersweet, but mostly sad breakup song. And it's so upbeat and so like the beat of the song is like like it makes you think it's a positive or good, like a happy song, and it's not. The lyrics are very sad. And so I kind of love that juxtaposition, but also the live version, like I mentioned earlier, is the music does match because it's very quiet. It's just mostly just piano, and it's slowed down, and so that better matches the lyrics, and that's almost even better. But I like the idea that they were like, well, let's kind of like make the music almost the opposite of how sad this song is. And so I still think it's a great song on its own. They just eventually realized a way to make it better. Um, which is fine. But it's fine that to me, I just like I like both, and I like the other one better, sure. But this one's still really great and still a top song for me. So that's 23, the hardest part from X and Y, and 22 is Spies, and I think this is probably the most underappreciated song in Coldplay's entire discography. Um, I think that like of all the non-hit radio hits, this is potentially the best. I don't know, like I'd have to go through and double check what songs were or were not radio hits that I haven't ranked yet. But like this is one that I almost never hear people talk about. That is, well, I'm pretty sure wasn't a radio hit, and I'm not really gonna talk. I'm not gonna include stuff from Moon music on in this conversation just because it's like so fresh that it's less than a year old at this point. That there's a couple of songs that weren't on the radio that I think are really great that I might have ranked higher than this. But that isn't. There's one that I have ranked higher than this that I don't think that was a radio hit. But it's so fresh, like it's hard to put that in the same conversation. This song I think is incredible. It's so well written. The lyrics are so good, and the everyone's doing something different. Like the drums are really unique. They're like almost kind of jazz drums in certain moments, but like it's just a very unique drum like sound. And I don't know how to describe the drums very well because I don't play the drums, and I've never really talked to people that like talk in drum lingo, so I'm like I don't know what to say. But Chris's voice is super haunting in this song. The the bass, I'm sorry, the bass in this song is so good. Like I'm not trying to talk about the bass much this entire series. The bass on this song is so good, and obviously Johnny on the guitar is really good. It's really like not creepy, but like kind of haunting. In the verses, it's really like this, like it's. I think it's a really heavy phaser, or really quick phaser, because it's like really like um bouncy is the wrong word, but like it's kind of like shimmer back and forth, and it's just him playing these chords like kind of like wet wash in, like, and I think it's just a heavy phaser, but like it is, um. Really, really good. And in the choruses, like not the choruses, the instrumental part after the chorus is where he gets like kind of this pseudo arpeggio lead line that's not arpeggio, I don't think, but it does feel like an arpeggio the way he plays it. Like I was talking about with a song from earlier in this episode. Um, and the lyrics are like so unique to me. This is a really unique song amongst Coldplay's discography, but no one would hear it and think, oh, this isn't like Coldplay because it's from their first album, from Parachutes. So no one's gonna think much of it being so unique. But I really love it. I This is one that I changed. I didn't never officially rank it, but I was looking at it. So this is my number two or number three, sorry, from Parachutes. And originally, when I ranked the songs real quick, I had it somewhere in that like 6 or 7 range. I think I had it like 5 or 6. I don't think I had it 7 ever, but I had it somewhere around there, and I just like kept bumping it up and bumping it up and bumping it up, and here it is at 22. It is. It is excellent. If you haven't heard it in a while, or haven't heard it at all, go listen to it, listen to the lyrics, turn it up, and just kind of like don't do anything else. Just close your eyes and listen to this song. It is excellent. It really, really, really is excellent. Um, so let's go ahead and go on to 22. Last song for the episode is Up and Up, and I adore this song. I wanted to rank it higher, if I'm being honest, just because personally I love it, and I think it is. There's a couple of songs like this that I have ranked pretty high some that I haven't even ranked yet, that to me just embody Coldplay's message as a band. Um, so some lyrics: fixing up a car to driving it again, searching for the water, hoping for the rain, up and up, down upon the canvas, working meal to meal, waiting for a chance to pick your orange field, up and up, up and up. Uh, and it's just like going through different people in their lives, and like we're all just trying to move onward and upward and do better and feel better and get better, and like uh some of these lines, I think, uh underneath the storm an umbrella is saying, sitting with the poison takes away the pain. Like, just good stuff. I think it's just not like it's incredible lyrics, not like it's just like, oh, this is mind blowing, this is Radiohead, or this is Death Cab for Cutie. Some of their stuff is like so great, lyrically, um but the chorus, we're gonna get it together. I know. I'm gonna get it together somehow. We're gonna get it together and flower. Uh, we're gonna get it together. I know. We're gonna get it together and flow. I'm gonna get it together and go up and up and up. And just like that's the song. That's like the idea of the song. The electric guitar, it does a lot of like it's like inverted sounding. I don't know if it's actually inverted. There's like a way that you can play a chord and it will come out like backwards. It's like a pedal that does that, and there's probably more ways to do it than just a pedal, but it sounds like that. Um, and the kind of like drums are a little bit more unique. It sounds like it's probably electric drum set, or maybe a drum set with an electric drum pad. It's like multiple different sounds, but I like it. Um, and Chris's voice is in like the sweet spot for a lot of this song. And the this song, a lot of like to me, it justifies the length in the messaging, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. Um, and the ability to sing with the chorus, I think, is a little underrated. Like a lot of times, Coldplay songs, they're not always like that. Where you can kind of just like sing along with the chorus and feel like you're a part of it. And this song having the choruses and having like background singers that are not part of the band generally, singing along with it, I think is really great. Um, and the way that it builds and builds and builds, um, especially after the guitar solo, excuse me, um, with that line, you can. Let me go back to the start. And you can say what is, or fight for it, close your mind, or take a risk. You can say it's mine and clench your fist, or see each sunrise as a gift. And it's like those kind of lines are like that's Coldplay's like a lot of the ideas there of like you can tell me what is right and what is wrong and fight. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. The line you can say what is like saying you can just tell me like this is the truth and this is not and this is good and this is bad, or you can fight for what you want instead of just talking about it. You can like stand up for stuff, um, and close your mind, like be closed off to stuff, or take a risk. You can say that's mine or it's mine and clench your fist, or you can see each sunrise as a gift. So it's like two different ways of looking at life. Is like there's the way of looking at life of like being willing to being first of all being grateful, being like willing to get along with other people and to try to be better and do better, uh, or the opposite of that, like being closed-minded, being greedy, um, being like demanding, uh, and I think that like that a lot of that is kind of a big part of Coldplay's messaging is being there for each other, being there for people, loving each other, loving people. That's kind of like a big. If you've been to one of the concerts, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, and you like Coldplay at all, I would highly encourage you to go see them live. Um, it's a really great experience. But then you get a second solo in this song. Like, come on, it's a really good song. I know it's long. It's like 6.5, almost 7 minutes, but I think it justifies the length, which I know has been a critique I've had of other songs. Like, I'm not like I wasn't totally sure that Coloratura justified its length. I think this song does, and I think this is a really good, a really really great song. I could see it I can see it falling, but I can also see it going higher. I wanted to put it higher, and it just this is where it fell. So, I think that's where we're gonna stop off here, though. The only thing I'm gonna, only other thing I'm gonna add to this episode is I think we're gonna do the last 20 in 4 episodes instead of doing 10 per episode. I think we're gonna do 5 per episode. So look forward to that next week. We'll spend some more time breaking these songs down and have some shorter episodes. I'm just assuming I'm going to talk more about the top 20. I feel like I'm talking more and more and more every episode. So I don't want to have 40 and 50-minute episodes. I don't even know how long this one is. It might be up there. But that's going to be it for this week. And we'll see you next week with songs 20 to 16.